Right, today I'm going to show you the Arccaptain MIG 200 and I'm going to let you know my first thoughts on it. I haven't had it long, but I have had a little bit of a chance to play around with it. So today I'm going to show you how the actual MIG welder works. It's also an arc welder and it can be a TIG welder as well, and it can use gasless wire. But today I'm going to show you how it welds as a MIG with gas. Right, so the Arccaptain MIG 200, it's actually a MIG welder, TIG welder, arc welder, and what else? So we've got arc welding, TIG, we've got MIG welding for a spool gun, so you've got the wire spool on your holder, your gun, and normal MIG. And with normal MIG you can actually use gasless wire as well. Right, so that's the MIG torch, which is really quite good. It's quite robust, and what is good about it is whatever material this nozzle is made out of, the slag, whatever you call it, comes off pretty easily. So because I weld pretty close and I normally get that in a bit of a mess, but that comes off of there okay. And it's a nice robust torch. It's got a really long lead on it, and this lot here is all quite robust as well. You've got your, in there you've got your wire feed and your connections for the gas and the power and that. And that's a nice precise and robust mounting there. And there you've got your connection for the spool gun. That goes in there. And here is where you actually plug your earth leads and stuff in. That's my earth clamp there. But what you can do is you swap this guy over for different polarities. So for instance, if you're TIG welding and you're using a positive earth, you'll actually flip this over to there and then put your earth in the positive plug there. But for what I'm using negative earth, so that can go in there. These are all quite nice and thick and robust as well. And the good thing is this earth lead is nice and long, so you can actually have it tucked out of the way and it doesn't get in your way. And you've got a nice long gas line as well, which helps. The knobs and stuff, they're nice and robust and they feel really quite precise actually. I do like them, and the buttons feel pretty crisp and good as well. The whole thing's quite light actually. It only weighs 12.5 kilos, so not even that, 12.2. So in here you've got your wire feed and your wire and that. And what is good in here, you've also got a light so you can see what you're doing in here, which is really nice. So it comes with 2 extra rollers, and each roller's got 2 different grooves on it. So you've got a selection of grooves for depending on what wire you've got, and that's pretty easy to change. You just undo that wheel there and flip that round again. And this is your clamp to clamp the rollers down. This is all, it's not made of plastic, it's actually made of metal. A lot of welders, that's all plastic crap. And this is all really quite nice as well, and this works really well. I've been playing about with it quite a bit and sort of slowly getting the hang of it now, which didn't really take that long. So I'll give you a brief run through of the controls. This first little button here will select between that mode there and the voltage mode. That mode there is where you can select different parameters. You can actually save 10 different welding parameters, so you can actually change certain settings and save them. And when it's on voltage, that's your sort of normal welding mode where you can actually alter the voltage and stuff. So the modes, you've got your mode button there, which selects between arc welding, TIG welding, MIG welding with a spool, and MIG welding. And this is your wire size selector, but you only use that when this synergic button is pressed. And what the synergic mode is, that actually has its own settings. You can adjust the current, the amps, and it will adjust the voltage accordingly depending on what wire size and gas you've got. So if you have a look, when I change the wire size there, see the voltage changes, but the amps don't. Same with the, not that one, same with the gas as well. And then this button here, that selects between your 2-touch, 4-touch and your spot welding. So the difference between 2-touch and 4-touch is 2-touch is when you hold the trigger in, it just welds. 4-touch, you hold the trigger in, it starts, or you touch the trigger, it starts, and then you touch it again, it stops. So this knob here, this adjusts the inductance, which is the sort of spread of your welding puddle. So I haven't been using it in synergic mode. I haven't actually got the hang of the settings, messing about with that, because I actually like to actually have it normal so I can actually adjust my voltage and my wire speed. That's the way I like to do it. I mentioned the parameters you can change. So the parameters you've got, you can adjust your welding time, burn back time, post flow of the gas, wire speed, burn back voltage, pre-flow of the gas, protection switch for peak current of wire feed or whatever that is, and inching speed. Inching speed is actually where you're holding the trigger down to move the wire when you're actually changing the wire. If you hold your button down for more than 3 seconds and it's not welding, I think it speeds up and does all that. But you can actually change all these settings and then save them as a preset. You've also got similar settings for arc welding as well, but I haven't got involved in arc welding yet. Right, so let's see what this MIG actually welds thick metal like. This is actually 5mm thick. This is part of the base of my engine stand I'm making. I've chamfered down the edges so it's got a nice groove in it. We're going to see what that welds that like. Right, so I've got it in the manual MIG mode, where I can adjust the wire speed and the voltage accordingly. So you can weld from 11 volts to 26 volts, and the wire speed is from 2 to 14. So I've had a little practice and I find this is best about 19.5 and about 4.5 for the wire speed. I like my wire speed quite low, and I've turned the inductance right down, so I've got quite a wide sort of puddle because I like it to burn in. That's not too bad. I'll flip it over and see what that's penetrated like. So pretty good, I reckon. I think it actually welds pretty good. Right, so let's weld some thinner stuff then. This is the exhaust that I'm welding up for my bobber, so we're going to give this a go. Right, so now I need to address this. I'm going to put it on a low setting. I'm going to put that on about 11 volts, and I'm going to take the wire speed down to about 3, I reckon. Let's go a little bit more than that. I'm just going to gently fill that. I don't want to burn into it too much at this stage, otherwise I'll have a heap of grinding to do underneath. But there, that's got that pretty well. You have a look inside, see if you can see that. It's got in there all right. So now I'm going to grind that down and maybe go over it again. So it burnt into that really well. It welded quite smooth. So I'm just going to go around the edges there with a weld, and then I'll grind it down again, and I should be able to sort of file it down and polish it flat. So we're now going to weld these two bits back together again. Well, I actually welded that quite nice. It's not it's not a nice bit of welding, but that's me. But the welder itself's done a pretty good job. What I could actually do, and what I might do actually, because it would be a good test for the MIG welder, is to actually build a rotisserie so that I can actually have this rotating and have the MIG gun fixed, use it on 4-touch, and then that should, if you get all the speeds right, put a nice smooth bead all the way around. I might give that a go. Right, well, I'm really pleased with my Arccaptain MIG 200. It welds really well. I'm not a great welder, but this is really going to help me improve my welding no end. And it's well worth the money. So if you're after a cheap MIG, go and get yourself one. I also welds aluminium. I haven't actually had a chance to mess around with that. I might do that later and do another video about that, and I'll probably do a video about the arc welding as well, and maybe the gasless welding. So there's a link in the description below for Arccaptain, and if you use a coupon code what's down there as well, you'll get 5% off. There'll be lots more content coming with this little guy here, because I do quite a bit of welding on the channel, and now I've got a welder what welds really nice. I'm going to be making a lot more stuff. So I'm going to be making headers for the bike, but before that I'm going to be modifying the standard exhaust and the standard cat. You might have seen that video already. And make sure you stay healthy, drink plenty of water, and have a great day. Oh, and subscribe and like this video and comment and all that good stuff. Have a great day.